Hello, everyone. Hope you're all well today. Today, I've got a very interesting guest. I've got Ivan Teller. He's an extraterrestrial channeler, and I thought it would be a great idea to get him on today. I've really enjoyed his sessions, and I'm sure you will find it very enlightening. Ivan, welcome. How are you?
Greetings. Thanks for having me on. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's lovely to have
So,
you.
yeah.
So, tell us a bit about yourself. How did it all start for you, this channeling?
Okay. So I had, I guess I go further back when I usually talk about, but I've had visits, like spirit visits, like something being what hit my hand or hit my arm. It actually moved me. So I knew something was around for a long time. I remember I was I had a bed that was man made, wood, and I had a being, kick me or hit me, and my whole bed would shake. It's like,
Wow.
okay, I know that you're there. Then I had a life change right after that. That was a long time ago, back in 2003, something like that. So I knew something was around. I didn't quite get too deep into it. And around 2011, I had a friend. I met, had a friend from work, and I met his brother and his girlfriend there at like a Panera Bread. It's like, oh, that's weird how we're kind of bumping into each other. And she said she was just in a car accident, and she went to see a tarot card reader, or well, also like a therapy for her body. But she had a tarot card reader there, or that did hypnosis and things like that. So she asked me if I wanted to try it out. It's like, sure, that's never been on my radar. It was in the past. I've had not the best interactions with tarot card readers. I've seen some corrupt ones in the past, telling people they have curses and all that. So I have some experience there. It's like I was being attacked before I knew what I was. So
Yeah.
let's put it that way.
Hmm.
So not to go into that, but so I went to see this tarot card reader. We did like a past life hypnosis, and I saw like Atlantis. I saw it being blown up. I wasn't really looking for it. It sort of just showed up. I saw my face turn into like an old Greek with a beard. The lady said she saw my face change, like it was like writing. I was writing a play,
Hmm.
and she saw my face change. So that was neat. So that was cool. So I've had some experiences. So I just started seeing my guides after that. Like a guy named Ulysses started showing up. He's kind of like a bald, blue guy. Uh, Something like you see like Doctor Manhattan and The Watchmen, something like that. Just a blue. So that's how he appeared to me. And then another guide by the name of Gabrielle appeared. That's a female guide. I went to a metaphysical church, and they gave me a name for her. So so I saw her in my car. I saw somebody sitting next to me. It's like, okay, this is different.
Wow.
So yeah, you want to say anything there or anything or yeah, it's so uh I didn't know what to do with all this. And even I found like the tarot card reader, her guide was a little not kind sometimes. It's like, sometimes they're kind of very harsh.
Hmm.
So she wasn't much of a teacher either. So I didn't know what to do with this stuff. It's like I had like an entity that attached itself to me. I was trying to clear out my guides, and an entity attachment. It's like I got rid of it. I did a meditation to clear it out. So I knew how to do meditations on my own because I did another one because when it used to get rain, like it would rain out and it would get dark, I get depressed sometimes. So I did a meditation on what was that about. So I light a candle, go into it, saw myself get like attacked as a like a king or something like that in Ireland. I was actually raided, and they took me and tortured me. And once I saw that, I could feel the pain of it, but then I released it. Didn't have any problems anymore. That was different.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, the attachment that was kind of weird. It's like a creature. I know it's. I don't know if people are ready for this, but yeah, it's like a creature talking to. It's like something you see out of a movie.
Hmm.
It's like, oh, geez, those things are real after all.
Hmm.
It's like I had no idea. It's like this is how you learn. But after I cleared that out, it's like I don't know what I'm doing. and this lady is not helping me. It's like I'm getting more insults from her than help. So it's like, so I had to shut down.
She's a bit
So
impatient.
yeah, she wasn't helping. I mean, I told her about the entity that attached itself, and then her guide kind of insulted me about it. It's like, are you serious? Are you going to help me, or are you going to make it worse? So she didn't know what to do, basically. She's still
Yeah.
figuring things out. So I didn't use tarot cards because I had not the best connection to tarot card people. So I just used my own intuition and just, I mean, all this stuff's finding me. I wasn't finding it. So I shut down, didn't know what to do with this stuff. So in 2014, I forgot what the story was, but I was just minding my own business. I forgot. I just had this huge feeling for my guides to do more of this stuff full time, do psychic work full time. And like, okay, so how does one do that exactly? It's like, because I'm like a directionless. All the things I'm trying is not working. I have a job, but I'm trying other things, talent, creative things. Nothing's working. It's like I have a job that I don't really care much for, but it's something. It's like I'm going nowhere. And so I looked online, I found a was it a psychic circle. Luckily, I found a right one, and this one was a Native American uh, mentor teacher, and it was they said I was a good reader. I can pick up on energies, and I can learn how to protect myself there. So it felt very. Of course, he had his own issues, but that was okay. A little bit of a trauma queen sometimes, but that's all right. Either way, I felt like I can finally use this stuff. And we would test her. I went to all the classes. Like I'll be the only one there sometimes, but that's okay. Sometimes the other people there because I knew this is where I needed to go. I need to do something with this stuff because nothing else was opening up for me. And I did a reading for a person that said, "Yeah, you're going to probably go on a trip somewhere." I was just reading him like I got everything that he's going to go through, so that was interesting. Of course, when you asked about relationships, yeah, it looks like it's going to work. Of course, it didn't work out, so you can't get everything. So sometimes when people want something to happen
Mm.
and they can interfere with your connection there,
Mm.
so either way, and I became so in psychic circle, about like five, I don't know, six people, sometimes 10 people, something like that. And I would be the second person that the teacher would pick on to do a connection with people. Even this girl that became kind of a friend, I said that she's going to meet somebody like Robin Williams, kind of off a little bit. It's like, what were you talking about? She wanted to get back to her ex-boyfriend. She ended up meeting somebody that was kind of off. So she was looking at me like I was crazy. But anyway, that was cool. So I had some, I would connect to things that would kind of freak people out. Sometimes I would do the circle myself, and I would pick up on stuff like it's like an old couple, yeah, like a grandkid, and it said, I think your grandkid's teaching your parents. The grandparents did not like that. It's like, I was saying it nicely, but it's like they feel like they're the parent, they're in charge. Kids are whatever, they're not doing anything. So that was interesting. So, but that was really fascinating. It was like an old soul. The kid was an old soul, just teaching the parents.
Yeah,
You're
exactly. It
teaching
happens.
you're learning. Yeah, you're learning from both. You're learning from each other.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of parents don't realize that kids are teaching them a lot, and they just don't want to look at it that way. So I got controversial there. It's like okay, so I guess this place has some limits. It's like some limitations, and eventually, the mentor got kind of he gets kind of rumor like, he gets very prima donna like. He wants like a billboard of himself. He's kind of older guy, 50s. He's in his 60s now, and just gossipy. He gets really
Mm.
gossipy. It's like, okay, I need to get out of this place. And he left town, and I went back. I shut down again. It's okay. I know how to protect myself now better than before. So now what do I do with this? So I went and actually wrote a book instead. I haven't done anything with it yet. Maybe I've finished it too. It has nothing to do with psychic work or anything like that, but you never know. I might actually get around to redoing that if I can find it. But anyway, so Months went by, and I'm at work. Like, okay, what am I going to do with myself? Because the book's not going to go anywhere. I got this message like reptilian channeling. And I'm like, why didn't I think of that? Because I asked my mentor about aliens. And he said, yeah, his whatever he calls his mentors were living in Sedona area, Arizona area, calling his ship. So I asked about that, but I wasn't really like, I don't know what I'm asking. But when I'm at work saying reptilian channeling, it's like, first of all, where have I been? It's like I should have looked at that like ages ago. I know about David Icke. I should have tapped into that forever ago. I knew about this type of channeling, but I've seen others do it like in front of me, like to bring an angel, like whole body would change, like you knew somebody was there. They just say one word and that was it. That was cool. That would freak a lot of people out, but I thought it was cool.
Hmm.
So I looked up reptilian channeling, and that kind of got me into exploring what I can. I've just tapped into the aliens. I just started tapping into reptilians. I feel like I felt them more around. I felt the grays a little bit, and I wasn't really into the channel yet. I was just kind of tapping into their frequency. I could tap into someone else's energy. I just going by what I was feeling. I was connected to the what is it, Iraq area and all of that. I was connected to some kind of reptilian. It was telling me stuff, but I didn't know what I was. It's like, what am I connecting to? It's like it's
Hmm.
telling me a bunch of weird alien stuff. It's like, okay, how can I verify this? I can't verify anything. Okay. So I was getting more closer. Maybe I should bring up beings for me. Maybe that makes me feel a little bit better about this instead of just tapping into it. So I saw others do it. So it's like, okay. So long story short, I found I actually did a presentation about what other people's information and my connections actually on my website, just because I had a friend of mine. We used to go to, we were trying to like become somebody, he would invite his friends and we'd go like to a restaurant and just do like a little presentation of spirituality and things like that. We did the last one. We did one, about 4 or 5 people showed up. That was pretty good. I was telling other people's predictions that weren't right, but either way, it's for dramatic purposes. I was still figuring this all out. Like the world's we're gonna have some huge crash in 2027, which isn't going to happen. So whatever. Just trying to figure things out. So I went. I figured out. I found it about channeling, like audio. I looked online. So okay, how can I learn this on my own? And I found auto recording. Betsy Morgan, still online. So I bought her audio recording. And I followed her procedures of how to do it. Clear out your chakras, connect to your guide Orion. That didn't work, but so I removed Orion and Ulysses. I wasn't too big on Ulysses. I tried to get rid of him because I feel like he's a little shady. But I was like, okay, Ulysses, I know who you are. Because I tried to bring in an angel, that wasn't working. I feel him, but you have like a protection around you.
Hmm.
So it's like, who are you exactly? I mean, I know you're an angel, but I can't seem to get you through me, through that to come through me. So like with Ulysses, he's part of my energy as a guide, even if you don't get along with each other. He's so it's like, okay, how about you? So you can visualize them, sort of like you do meditation, you kind of visualize me channel to me without my interference. And he got through my field and he came through me just for a little bit. I said I didn't listen to him half the time or whatever. But at least I got him through, so I kicked him out. I called in a gray, I guess because I got bringing somebody, and that was cool. I could feel them on their ship, kind of walking around, so that was different. I never felt, and I brought in Reptilian. I felt my arm turn green, and I felt like he meant well, but his energy was really toxic. But that was, I'm warning, so this is like day one. And I brought in an Arcturian, I felt like they were like at school, like a kid. He almost looked like he was blonde almost. I mean, Arcturians don't look like us, but they kind of did. And I knew it had like a girl next to him. They were looking at me. I was like, hey, let's try this out. So I channeled him for a second. I never saw him ever again, but that was then I started recording my stuff. After that, after the first, like after channeling the grace, like I knew I needed to record this stuff, put this on YouTube. And I channeled like the Yael. This back when the California fires are going on. Something happened to that video. It's like it said something that I wasn't supposed to say, and it got cut, disrupted. So I just went for it, and I connected to a channeling group, and I showed them my video of one of the channelings I did, because I got my friend to do another channeling with people. Only 2 people showed up. It was at like a restaurant, and it went pretty well. The tall blondes came through. I didn't know how to get people to do a webinar. It's like, how do I do this? So I sent it to a channeling group, and then I got attention, so they started coming to me. I just did webinars for like 5. I did a webinar every day, like some 2 to 3 hours. I did one that was 4 hours. I did webinars. I got something going on from nothing going on. So that was it's been unique ever since. Now I do
Hmm.
1 webinar a week, but yeah, it's a lot. I still do a lot.
Wow.
So
And
yeah, so.
so at the moment you channel many different star races from what it seems. Arcturian, Anunnaki, archangels. Tell me about
Yeah.
some of the more memorable experiences you've had.
The Nordics been kind of neat. The Palladian Nordic beings are like something you'll see from World War II. There are good ones.
Yeah, I
Um,
believe the Nordics can be pretty nasty. They're not
they
the
can be
same
really
as the
bad.
Palladians,
Yep. Yeah,
but
they can
you
be
know,
really.
there's no
Yeah.
all good or all bad as we
No.
know,
Mm-mm.
but one has to
Well,
be a little bit more careful, I guess.
yeah. You just put your intention to connect to the good ones, but I can feel like some of the Nordics. To jump around a little bit, I went to like this metaphysical group. I didn't. I just they had presentations. I just kind of observed, and I can feel the Nordics there feeling almost bad how some of the Nordics are treating people, how they're manipulating them through looks. And it's like, it was the first time I ever felt that. I guess it must have been in a vortex or something, because usually I don't feel that. That was quite unique.
Hmm.
To get an idea about the Nordics, so they're kind of like on ADD. They can appear here physically like anybody else, but they move quickly. So they here, they zoom over there, they zoom over there. They're just like very quick on how they live on a ship and everything like everybody else. But I don't know if they have web feed. I imagine some might. I haven't seen that, but yeah, they're here to help with the ascension. Some, yeah, you can say they were involved with starting World War II to
Hmm.
help us get more technology in. It's like we're going to take on a lot of karma. I mean, I wasn't told this by a girl that I used to know. She saw that, I was part of this Nordic group. Like, nobody wants this karma. It's like, okay, I'll do it. I don't know. There's probably more to it than just saying I'll do it. But to help, help with World War II start, to bring all this technology in, and then we're going to take on a lot of karma for it. But at least, I mean, World War II changed a lot, as you can see.
Yeah.
So, but they took it to a whole nother level. It wasn't supposed to go where it went. So I think
Oh,
probably
really?
other groups involved with it. Yeah, it wasn't supposed to go to Holocaust. It wasn't supposed to, I don't think the atomic bomb was even supposed to really happen. But I mean, they could have stopped that, but it's something that we had to go through.
Hmm.
So it's funny how at least the stories that Hitler wasn't going to have a atomic bomb or wasn't really thinking about using it. I don't know. That's who knows about that. So, but Novak, the reptilian, comes through. It's interesting. His personality comes through because he's a reptilian, such as how reptilian we are. I can get it through. I can get his personality through me than most beings. Like, I connect to a Syrian. It feels like we're talking to like a teacher, like a shaman. Is like, no, not there for a whole lot of personality. A lot of these beings I channel are just not here to. We're not here to entertain you. It's like
Look at me
Novak
now.
comes in. Yeah, Novak comes in very animated
Hmm.
sometimes. I think I hold a mantis being came in that came like a little kid. I had to pull that back a little bit. It's like, okay, we don't want to talk to. I wanted to have. I was like, yeah, here's a mantis. That's like he's 4. It's funny with the mantis. Yeah, because they like drive the ships for the Zetas. They do a lot of experiments and all that. Because you look at Mantis, they all have like all this crazy. Our mantis on our world, they look like, okay, you have the green mantis, and you have these crazy looking mantis here. So they're part of genetic engineering. They're like all, all ratted out. They all have like a silver mantis. They're showing off. Pretty fascinating, actually. We don't get mantis here. We get other things, but the mantis has been a funny one. Something about cars. They make fun of us because we drive in a straight line. How like a ship can go all different directions and a car just goes straight. So that was kind of funny. So, and the Anunnaki you brought in there, that was, yeah, I kind of do like some of the giants. That was kind of interesting. Well, interesting. Before I started channeling, heard about the Anunnaki. I was listening to a recording. It said Anunnaki here. It's like, okay. So I tapped in their energy, and I felt like this 9-foot Anunnaki standing next to me. So I never had that since. I don't think he was expecting me to do that. I don't know if he was standing next to me or what, but it was amazing how big he was. I just knew he was really tall. I think they're on the moon. They're all over the place, but yeah, they don't really tell me they're like what they're doing. I can get to Men in Black. I heard somebody, hey, we'll just go all the way. We'll just tap into everything that's spook people out. Men in Black, Agent. Somebody mentioned Agent N, so Agent N's the only one usually comes through. Uh, Usually others can come through, but Agent N's like pushes all the other guys away. It's like, I'm coming through. So it's like okay. So yeah, it's been quite unique. I don't know
So
anything
what did the
recently.
Anunnaki kind of tell you? Because obviously, right now, a lot of people are debating, and some say they're bad, some say they're good, and we know there are, some are good and some are bad. But are there any specific kind of messaging that they giving you with regards to understanding them better and their role right now?
Well, they want to. I feel like they're playing. I believe they're part of the elite energy. I feel like they have a lot of problems, like we do. I always get like the soap operas, like in the Spanish countries, like they're all yelling at each other and all that. I get that energy of just they can't get along with it themselves. They're usually very attractive. They can have that. They can look very um androgynous. They can look like a male, like looks very female like. Similar type of movie in Stargate. So that's the vision I get of this. And yeah, there's those we brought up their, you know, when they came here, they brought their problems here. So there's some good, some bad. They can be very vicious. It all comes down to the mind. Our minds get so easily manipulated.
Mm.
See with the drama, the news, and everything. And I feel like some of them have a part. They feel like we're not ready. So we're going to keep playing you guys until you figure us out. It's like there's some are just so bad that just don't care. It's like we're going to keep messing with you, create all these events, keep you as confused until you start realizing that we're doing it. Some people are figuring it out. The best thing is the individual can do what they want. You make peace with both sides and just step out of all that stuff. Just all like this guy's bad, that guy's good,
Mm.
and just be a bit more neutral might help a little bit. Just they
Yeah.
want drama. Drama keeps everybody divided.
Mm.
So yeah, as Anunnaki's part of the elites, I feel like the Martians are involved with it too. You don't really hear a whole lot about Mars, but I feel like the Anunnaki are on Mars also. They got manipulated there. So like I think they got manipulated, weaponized on Mars. Mars is like an Orion weapon planet. It's like a planet destroyer planet. It's like a very unique. I think even Mars has something to do with Maldek. I know there's obviously no way to prove it, but Maldek kind of went rogue. I think one time I felt like Mars came after Maldek, and maybe that's true, but I felt Mars did something to Maldek to cause them to go crazy like we're going crazy. So
Mm.
yeah, just so. But yeah, they're here. There's very attractive. Oh, like some of the Middle East countries that you've never heard of. That's where a lot of the Anunnaki probably are.
Mm. Yeah.
So,
So what are some of the messages that you've been getting through for, with regards to specifically where we are right now in the ascension process, this sort of silent war going on Earth right now, that is being played out kind of behind the scenes. Any
Uh,
messages with regards to what people should be focusing on right now and how they can manage current times?
well, you have like well, at least as recent one of the aspects of this, like some of the politicians, for example, that look very corrupt, like they've been possessed by somebody.
Yeah,
Most likely they are. Like there's demonic energies there.
yeah,
Is like more recognize, what you are seeing. It's in human form, so that's our problem. We're all human, so we can't really see the creatures that are here.
mm,
So we have these manipulating beings that go into politicians and act all psychotic. And the more that you see that allow more of that, like put your intentions. Well, these beings become more known. Like Harvey Weinstein's like a pig, like obviously, right?
mm,
Pigs can be really, really bad. I don't say the reptilians are bad. Pigs can be worse. Like Nordics can be worse than reptilians. Almost feel like the reptilians are more timid compared to. I mean, they're like a warrior race here. They do keep us shut down. I went to like Naples a long time. I was going to go to like Coral Castle. It's kind of like an alien area. You can't even take pictures there anymore. But I went to a mall to get something to eat. I felt the reptilian in another dimension. I felt him get irritated that I was there.
mm.
I can actually feel him move around. It's like that was different. That never happens. So it's
Yeah,
like, so there, yeah, the reptilian. I've also, when I did channeling, I felt a door open and a reptilian walked through just to see what I was doing. He did it twice. He did it another day. He did it too. A door would open behind me. He would walk right through. They were just seeing what I was doing. So that was cool. So they're just, some of them are here to keep us locked in. And it's like a game. We're here to figure our way out of the maze.
mm.
So the more that you're fighting among each other, like this is right, that's wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine, but
It's
be
just
more, just
division.
be open minded. Yeah. It's okay to see like the SSP stuff has a lot of manipulations with that. A lot of people are becoming part cult like, joining cults. We're no different than the old days, really. No different ancient Greece. You have these people that are saying, oh, I have all this knowledge, and people are just giving away their power so easily. Nothing's changed. It's just absolutely amazing. So you just become more recognizing what's here instead of pointing fingers. I mean, yeah, you might see that person's shady, that person's not, but not to pull into that drama because that's what they want.
Yeah. They want division because united we are very strong, and that's obviously not what they want.
We're
Um,
getting there. Well, that's the thing. When you have your awakening and you say, okay, I'm not going to fight with anybody, then they start attacking you, like and mentally, energy wise.
mm,
It's like, so it's like, okay, you're not going to play our game anymore. We'll get you another way. It's like, it never ends. It's like, then people feel like they're going crazy, feel like they're getting really alone. People are awakening. They feel very lonely, very
yeah.
depressed because they're now, they're pointing, they're looking right at you now.
Mm,
So, but it's like a game. You go to one level to another level. You fight the bad guy. You move to another level. Yeah, because eventually they can't keep doing it. You keep yeah. It's yeah. So so basically for beings to become more known, and I've been doing more multidimensional messages. I've been seeing more of that recently, like the show Fringe. I've been talking about other versions of Earth. I've talked about it before, but like we're battling like another version of Earth, another version I might know about us, something like you see in Star Trek. Like you have the good version of you here, and the other version of Earth might be a bad version of you. Who knows? But
yeah. Multiple timelines.
yeah,
Um, I
so
mean, some people believe there's going to be like a bifurcation of Earth, that there's going to be a splitting. What is your view on that?
yeah, I think there's already a splitting now. Like religions already in the awakening. I think we're still going to be here physically, but yeah, I just feel more slipping away from all of that. Of course, many people are being pulled into cults, which is very that really lowers the frequency actually. But
Yeah.
it's like, hey, I can catch my own power, but this power group, this Galactic Federation of Worlds, for example. Oh, that's you don't even see it. But somebody's talking about it. For some reason you feel like you need to be a part of, I guess you want to feel like they're a part of somebody. and that can stop you. So yeah, I don't know, splitting. Um, yeah, I mean, group wise, maybe. I don't know about world wise. I mean, when you leave this world, you go to that's part of your ascension too.
Mm.
So
Some people believe that we now have this unique opportunity for an embodied ascension. Like this planet can move to 5D without us having to kind of die, and that within this physical body we can
yeah,
transform into a crystalline form.
some of that's happening now.
Yeah.
The new generations that are coming in will get more and more rebellious. Kind of like you had the hippie movement in the 60s. So you'll have more of that. More of the crystal kids will come through. Yeah. So we're
Mm.
just paving the way. We're doing like the hard job right now.
Yeah, we
This is,
paving the way for them
yeah,
to
this,
sail through.
yeah.
Basically.
Because a lot of these higher dimensional beings, they can't handle all this stress.
Yeah,
They can't do it. They can be high vibrational. They can
yeah,
do mushrooms all day long, but they cannot handle
yeah.
the work environment that we go through.
Mm.
So it's like we're keeping the lid open. We're opening up the car. We're just opening everything up for them. Kind of the founding fathers of different countries too. It's like you're part of the war, and then the new generation just wanders around and picks
Mm.
flowers or something like that. So
Yeah,
we're
that's
not
true.
quite there yet.
Hmm.
We're still in the thick of it seems. But yeah, we're definitely paving the way.
Now you also feel like we're getting a lot of DNA upgrades at the moment with a lot of the solar flares coming in.
Yeah.
Our bodies are changing.
Yeah, I think feel that some people get a little ahead of themselves. Like they feel like the poor shift's going to happen soon, when it might not even happen in our lifetime or several lifetimes. Quantum financing, we might have a long time for that.
You reckon that's not going to happen soon? Quantum financial system.
I doubt it. I've heard a lot of things and nothing's happened. So,
I think the whole system is very complex. I mean, it's not just finance, right? The whole quantum system that's going to affect our legal system and the way the world works, really. It's so
yeah,
complex and it affects so many parts of society that I can't see it just switching. Think
no,
about just the legal system, how many legal cases that are in the system right now. You can't
no,
just flip a switch and say, okay, now it's quantum.
no.
There's going to be
Well,
a transition period, I believe.
well, yeah, like quantum computers. That's basically a high vibrational computer, basically.
Yeah.
And it's like they're like the old computers of the past, like the 60s used to be like these huge things. Now quantum computers are like that, but they're like alien technology. The idea is for us to be able to buy those eventually, like the smaller versions, like they're like super fast. Then I can see how that will start becoming part of
Yeah.
society. Yeah, it might not be in our lifetime though. It might be a few lifetimes. That's a big, like I said, that's a big change. That's
Yeah.
yeah,
Have you ever tried
it's
to channel information around that, or can you kind of choose the information or ask for certain information, or it
yeah.
just comes through? Have you tried to channel that kind of information?
Yeah, usually it's just no. People want to say yes, all the aliens are going to show. I mean, I had an alien visitation back in 2017. I actually felt being talked to be just at another dimension. Very nice being in the world. Just said talk about alien disclosure, and that was all he said. My whole world shifted. It's like okay, the aliens are coming. I can even felt them like on a ship, like by what's it, a tower, like in a city, like walking on top of it. It's like little people walking on a ship. Next is like, wow, that's crazy. It never happened. I mean, I can see it, but after that, it's like we're just a big waiting game. So people are changing to get a little ahead of themselves. So
Yeah, I think disclosure is not going to happen that quickly because
no,
also, we like a bunch of wild dogs now. They're not going to come down and meet us while we're still running
well,
around rabid dogs, for the large part. Many of us not, obviously, but
yeah,
for the most part,
and
we haven't matured yet
yeah,
enough for them to come
no.
down and meet us. Never mind that they're on a different vibrational frequency, so we can't even see them.
Well, Be careful what you wish for. Individually, you can have a connection though. Well, kind of fourth dimensional level through your
Yeah.
third eye.
Yeah,
Um,
individually we can, but I mean, they're not on a mass basis going to come
no.
down and meet us.
Well,
You're not going to see it on CNN. Here they are. Let's have a meeting at the White House.
I think there are timelines where that definitely can happen. And like I say, be careful what you wish for, because some of them will come here, become gods, become a pain in
Well,
the neck. Say, hey,
exactly.
look, instead of the good guys coming, the bad guys show up. Say, hey, we'll just go back to what we did to you in Egypt and all
Yeah.
that.
You want to call us God, then let's go for it and we can control you
I,
from
I can
above.
feel some beings, there's feline beings, there's some reptilians that just love for that. Just
Mm,
and I mean, at least we have our aliens, but not the ones that you want though. But so I think that's part of the Galactic War to keep them from showing up.
yeah.
So I mean, I think they can show up in the skies and stuff like that. That's something. But sometimes it's CGI. It gets hard to tell sometimes. Sometimes even if it's CGI, you feel like somebody's there.
Yeah. No, definitely. They're showing themselves. There's more and more UFO sightings around the world. Just over the last couple of weeks, it's been amping up. But, and there's obviously Project Bluebeam and, what they've
Yeah.
been wanting to do with that. But in terms of them physically coming down and meeting us, I don't know. I think it's going to be a slow drip kind of rollout, at least on the mass basis. Individually, I think more and more of us will be able to start communicating with them, um, channeling.
Well, I did have an energy of like South Africa, for example. There's a possibility of them having more, or somewhere in Africa having more of an alien connection there
Mm,
than other countries. Like we might not believe it, but there's places that could easily have some kind of visitation,
mm,
and people won't believe it, but they are kind of even parts in Africa. I feel like they do appear and disappear. Like people think that they're demons or something like that, but they're actually reptilians. So
Reptilian specifically.
yeah,
So there's a few things. Obviously, the Anunnaki has a strong connection to Africa, Southern Africa, because
yeah.
they were based here at some point, and there's proof of them. There's stone circles and all sorts of things, sort of northern part of South Africa. Then there's somebody that I interviewed that was doing a QHHT channeling session with a surrogate, obviously quantum hypnosis healing technique, that were talking about a 1994 draconian war on Earth, specifically also centered around South Africa. But apparently, either that was another timeline or it's, something about our memories being wiped around that period. But it was
Yeah.
pretty devastating, I believe.
Hmm.
So that was interesting. And then in another channeled session, somebody was saying that specifically Cape Town is almost like the new Atlantis. There's a lot of Pleiadian ships, around Table Mountain, and that for some reason there's a certain energy here that's kind of almost like a new Atlantis, and that this is the root chakra of the earth, and that there's a lot of healing that needs to happen here before
Hmm.
it can go to the heart chakra of the earth, which they didn't say where that was yet, but that the earth's heart chakra could not be opened before the root chakra was not healed.
Well, 1994, if it was in South Africa, yeah, you just look at what happened in that time period in our timeline. There's a cat.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah, without them, they protect my energy a lot. So
Mm.
people wonder why I have cats. Like they're
Oh, wow.
working.
Mm.
They actually do a lot. People realize this is up.
Mm.
Hey Priscilla, look,
It's so
you're
cute. Yeah,
famous.
I have one as well, but I locked him out because he makes too
I
much noise. He wants
I
to go
can't lock
in
these.
when it's closed, and anyway, you
I
can
can't
never
lock
win.
these guys out. Yeah, usually they sleep, but this one's. But yeah, like 1994. Yeah, I can feel. Yeah, something about South Africa. Now you might not have the best aliens show up. They might be kind of questionable beings, but I can definitely feel them getting some kind of visitation one day
Mm.
when the time is right. So
And then, obviously you've heard about the tunnels being cleared out. Apparently there were a lot of tunnels in South Africa as well that have been cleared out. So I think there's
Mm.
been a lot of draconian presence here as well because of, the loosh farms and everything that's been going on, which could have something to do with it as well.
Yeah, they say like the white hats are clearing everything out, and it's like there's no way to prove that. It's like you see the US and the corruption in our government and all that. It's like, oh, it's good we have a bad guy there. It's like, okay, I mean, yeah, it's waking people up, but I don't know, it's still not great. So
You seeing that as just a psyop?
oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, I got wait, I can say this here. Yeah, I was at my years ago, I was minding my own business. I was answering questions. I got this like download of Biden being a clone, Dulce, New Mexico. I felt like all these different clones are there. Biden. I mean, I'm not even looking for this stuff. It just sort of showed up. So it's like I got more attention from that. It's funny. I do all this other stuff I don't get attention for, but I get attention for something like that. It's like,
Yeah, some topics are just hot topics that people just
I
want to know
know.
more about.
Just yeah, the film almost feels like it's more of a video game or something. People are just, oh look, that's neat. But if you want to go to like inner healing and
Yeah,
connecting
exactly.
yourself and the boring stuff's like nothing. It's like
Exactly.
some people will be okay with it, most are just yeah, that's the thing about the spiritual community. It wants entertainment still, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's 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 what makes this whole thing kind of, is this like you're in the right place for me to be at? It's like
Mhm.
the more fantastic you can tell people, oh
Yeah.
yeah, you were like this huge
Clickbait,
warrior
right?
in the past or something, but like who was I in a past life? And so you have to kind of earn some of that if you're famous, because some people or a lot of people are probably just can't remember for it's like you gotta earn that. They can't just tell you
Mhm.
unless you're at the level where they can. Like if you're asking question, was I this person? Do I have a connection here? And of course everybody's a lot of females think they're ISIS is a big one. Mother Mary, some people think they're Jesus, of course, but of course some people probably were in other realities. So that can make things really confusing, or you have the DNA or whatever it might be.
But I also feel some people say that some of those souls are so big that they have actually currently a lot of fractals.
Yes.
Let's say Jesus. So there could be 1,000 people that have some
Yeah.
of the fractal.
Oh yeah, definitely. Or you can be also a spirit guide of someone like Jesus, or if you're an angel of that person too. So it's like you feel like you were that person because you're a spirit guide or angel for that person. Interesting though, I pick up on like failed spirit guides. And some of them have like huge like spiritual followings, which I always find that I just get this feelings like I've seen you fail somewhere, and now
Hmm.
you have this huge following. Sometimes they try to prove themselves, like, "Hey, I'm not wrong about stuff," and it's like, "Are you sure about that?" Because I think you're still kind of doing it. So that's, I know it sounds weird. I learned how to fire my guides. I tell people it's okay to fire their guides and all that and
You
people
need a
get
new
kind of
set of guides now. It's like, come on, send me a new team.
yeah, exactly. It's like I mean, yeah, it's some things guides can't do, but guides can interfere their energy, so they're still learning from us, like we're teaching them. I mean, they can see things more clearly because where they are, but it doesn't mean they're going to make the best decisions either. So it's,
Hmm.
I mean,
They're
they can
not
keep going.
perfect.
No, far from it. So, but yeah, connected to the demiurge, the different type of beings that are kind of esoteric energies and Gnostics. The demiurge is a reptilian. It's like a half feline lion, the tail of a reptilian.
Hmm.
Created like an archon being to create this physical realm to be as God. It's like I want to be God of the physical realm,
Hmm.
and so because we are gods ourselves,
Yeah.
God is like a man-made word. So
Yeah.
we have our
We
own
create a
power,
being,
basically.
right? Which
Yeah,
is the same thing.
yeah. So we just come to this just to see if we can figure it out or learn from ourselves. It's different.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
what do you feel like? What are we here to do? And what is our ultimate mission here? Why are we going through this very difficult
Oh,
video game?
well, one part of it is okay. You have universe that's very physical, and this being is calling itself a god, and here worship me, and he has kind of an attitude problem and all that. So we incarnate to learn from that, see what we can learn. It's like, wow, it's like a new thing, like your spirit being on other realms, just energy. There
Yeah.
are other physical realms, but this one's like a war zone. So you come here, what happens to you? It's like, do you become good? Do you become bad? Who knows? We'll find out. It's like a new car or
Mm.
experience. It's like you kind of get stuck here. It's like, wow, I failed in that lifetime, but I'll come back and try something again. And just keep going and going until you feel like you can't do anything here anymore. It's like you've done everything.
So like I say, it's the creator trying to experience itself. So that's why, you're
Yeah.
going to have some negative lifetimes, you're going to have some positive lifetimes. But
Well,
ultimately, I'm still wondering, like, what is the real sort of end goal?
oh, well, the negative lifetimes is when you're a teacher. So it's like you're building up all this horrible karma for yourself, but you're like, you can be terrible here, like a CEO or a warmonger, but you're teaching everyone your knowledge. And then eventually your next, so you have all this power as a millionaire one lifetime. Next lifetime, you're working at a
For a
fast food
pauper.
restaurant trying to
Yeah.
control everybody. And you have no power, you get depressed by it because you don't have all the luxuries that you used to. So it's a test on the soul. And it's just well, it's until we figure out this riddle as a society. We figure all this out. We come together. We don't, it's like kind of like the Plato time period, Socrates. Very similar to that. You just become, and that's happening now. We just kind of question you, like, you don't get pulled into all the politics. You stay out of it. Let the governments fall, basically, and a new, better government will come through. That's what we just got to stop fighting with each other. Many people are, but many are still tearing each other apart, of course.
And also for us to realize that we are powerful beings and that we are sovereign. We don't need anyone to tell us what to do.
Yeah.
Everyone just assumes they have to be obedient to a government that is so corrupt and don't have their best interests at heart. And like, why? Like, if we just
Well,
en masse decide we are not going to obey and we want a better world and we want a better way to live, we can have it
yeah.
because we have the power. We're the 99%.
Yeah, well, there's different ways of looking at that. So the souls that go by this whole system, a lot of them haven't been here before, or they've
Mm.
been other worlds that are very similar, or they're part of like some kind of simulated, like Matrix people program.
Yeah,
It's like, hey,
NPCs.
if you join our program, you get to have the relationship, you get to have some wealth, or whatever, middle class or something. You get some candy or something. It's like, okay, I'll just live shut down. But you have the free will to break free, but all this stuff's going to go away though. Your connection to relationship might change because you're going to change the way you look at things. So do you want to stay in the matrix or you want to break free? So the matrix things keeps coming back. Obviously people feel like there's a dome here. There's a dome, there's matrix, there's everything.
Yeah, I
So
mean, there's now this whole debate, obviously, about, is the Earth a globe? Is it flat? Is there a dome? Is it firmament? What is going on?
part of
Everybody's
it's
view on that.
flat, some of it's round. There are areas where it does look kind of flat. Um, I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, I mean, I personally felt it's almost like a toroidal field. It's not, for us, it's difficult to imagine
Yeah,
because we want to see an object, we want to see a shape,
no,
and sometimes there is no shape. It's just a
yeah, it's like,
simulation.
it's just a hologram reality. It's maybe we're just here all by ourselves, just our planet, and just all these other planets are just dressing for us to think that we're not alone. So we just, we'll just however you want to look at it, whatever works. It just the idea is to stop the infighting so we can have more peace here, and that's hard for a lot of people, obviously.
Mm. We basically have to grow up. We're like a bunch of kids
Yeah,
in the playground that are fighting with each other
yeah,
and that are just very immature about everything around us. We need to grow up and, you know,
yeah. We've
realize
had,
the power that we have and the power that we have in this universe and just get on with the
well,
program and respect each other.
we've had contracts where that was agreed upon, like to keep us in the system. And I would say 2012, around then, that's where we're going to more of an awakening period. The internet's helping us. So we're just deprogramming all the programming. We're shutting it all down. So we are. I feel like it just started. I mean, it might have been around in the past, the '80s and all that, but it feels like it's really accelerated.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a while. New generations will come in that that don't want a job, that can eventually teleport and things like that.
Yeah.
It'll just get easier and easier as we
Yeah.
go forward. So
Develop our abilities.
yeah, it'll still be a infighting though. A little bit. They're not going to give up that easily.
Mm.
So
Yeah, fascinating. Um, so do you see a grand solar flash coming in? Some dramatic event?
no, we might have. Yeah, next year it feels like it would get lighter for some of us, not everybody. Like we're going through some challenges now. We're kind of going through a little bit of a recession, but solar flash, I'm not. No, I mean, there might be some that we don't see. What I mean, like, are we gonna get solar flash? Like everything's gonna get their powers activated.
Mm.
Reminds me of that. I doubt
Yeah,
that.
that
It's like
sounds all a little bit too, yeah, easy.
too good to be. That sounds like it's another. You have to earn it too.
Yeah, exactly.
So
It
I
goes
don't feel
both
like
ways. You can't just have
yeah,
a switch being flipped. You have to work for it. You've got to develop those abilities every single day. You've got to work towards that.
yeah. If people were just given their powers just like that, a lot of them will abuse it. Not
Yeah,
everybody, but quite a few of them will. So
yeah.
win the lottery or whatever it might be, and this will get more chaotic than it is already, which will make an interesting movie.
Mm.
We're interested to see that, but not with it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we have a long ways to. I don't feel a solar flash anytime, or the polar ice caps, or the polar shift. It's
Mm.
just surviving ourselves.
Yeah. I mean, the pole shift, I've also heard that we will be protected. There will be some sort of
Yeah,
adjustment made
I
so it
believe
won't
that.
affect us.
Yeah, if that happens, those that need to will live through it will find. Yeah, you'll just feel like you need to move or something like that. You just know it's like, and you'll have a couple of years ahead of time. They'll tell you. So yeah, it's a pain. Yeah, it's a guide. Sometimes I don't know. You just gotta go with, even if you don't like their message. Like I think they sometimes mean, I don't know. It's like you have road guides telling you something. It's like, well, that didn't work out. Why did I bother doing that? So sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But
I'm sure
if
sometimes they also get a bit irritated, like, get on with the program now. Come on, like,
yeah, well, we're getting that way where them too. More people become more of their guide, aware of their guides, and yeah, I mean, in the future generations, it'll get easier. They'll like take everything that we're doing now and make it look like it's easy. It's like you can't grow up with all this stuff. Everybody's telling you no and getting censored all the time.
mm,
It's like the future generations, they're probably not even born yet. The ones that are going to have it a lot easier than what we're going through. So, so you just, yeah, I feel like more of the future generations will just reject work and just become more aware of their powers because they're born at a young age, depending on their parents,
yeah,
or their parents either don't care or care. Either way, they'll just be able to develop it, and they'll still have to be living in a world of chaos, but they can still access their abilities. Something like you would see out of a superhero movie, you can say.
yeah,
So that's slowly what we're heading into. I mean, it's here now, but not like, I don't feel like people are going to fly anytime soon, but just be more connected to their abilities.
yeah. Yeah, it's going to happen slowly, slowly. And obviously, some people, it will be faster than others.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It's, well, the chaos energy is here. It's like if you get those powers, are you going to misuse it? Are you going to use it wisely? So the
yeah,
world becomes more chaotic, kind of slowing people down. So it has a purpose of why it gets crazy. It's like, because Atlantis had their powers and they went nuts with it. And, you know, that we can easily do that again. So we're trying to learn from what we learned from Atlantis. I'm not sure
yeah.
that's always working
I
though.
really feel like we have a do-over with Atlantis in terms of what
Yeah.
happened there. We have this opportunity to do it
Yeah.
differently this time.
As long as yeah, as long as we're doing it right. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
As
that's
long as
the thing.
yeah, yeah,
We can't make the mistakes we did last time. Otherwise, the same thing's going to happen.
yeah. So I think that's why things take so long. And the thing is all the spiritual propaganda, the event, 2 years when we get our powers activated, all that's going to be, that's our warning. That's our, all these alien groups you hear about. Oh, there's now this new alien group. There's that new alien group. And that's going to be a tough one to
But it's
break.
like kids, we have to learn about this stuff
Yeah.
bit by bit for the first time, and we will realize along the way that some
Yeah.
didn't add up, but it's all about part of the learning process because it's a lot of new information for
Yeah.
Earthlings.
Yeah. Some get caught up in the whole fantasy side of spirituality, the SSP, and they just get their minds, it gets fun. So their minds create a
Yeah,
lot. It's not just that, it's other things, even past lives, but it's all warning. It's I think it's okay to go where you need to go, get it out of your system, and then eventually come down to earth. But if you think you're like some super starfighter that's blasting everybody away for 5 minutes, that's fine. And there might be some truth to that somewhere. But like a past life, feel like you're a general or something like that. It's all part of your warning. It's like dive in. If you think you're Jesus or God or whatever, hopefully they don't manipulate that. Hopefully they don't try to create a cult with that, because that's happened. But yeah, it's hard warning here. Yeah. Well, the problem is also we're all human. If you see like an insectoid being or a demonic being more clearly, but we're all in human form, so it's a little bit hard to decipher everything.
yeah, yeah.
So like a
And we made up of so many different star races, and some of us have more of the one, less of the other. More reptilian, less reptilian, for example.
yeah,
But at the end of the
yeah,
day, we're all hybrids. So
yeah.
you believe maybe our bigger purpose really is to bring unity to all these star races, that we can be
Yes,
the big peacemakers of the
yes.
galaxy.
Yeah, exactly. You have all these different alien species alive, and we don't even know who they are, all mixed into us and all the chaos in the universe. They can't get along there. So do you think we can get along here? It's like, so just the human's a perfect vehicle for it. For other people to decipher like an alien group, like for a feline, some we'll just go by the female. Some of them have like crazy like hair, look like a cat, especially if you have kids. It's like you look like a female walking around as a human, but then you have kids and you're like kind of like a lioness. So it kind of gives you an idea. The canine, some guys, or just look at some of the guys, or some guys act like puppy dogs, some are kind of brute, kind of rough, fix a car or something like that, and really good at talking to people. That has like a canine energy there. Of course, there's different versions of a canine. A lot of Syrian energy is here that brought the pyramids here and things like that. So usually they're very good at communicating. They're not always like a brute dog, but communication's really heavy with them. The Martians are just, yeah, war connected to our military, and yeah, I can get into the mind and mess with that. Even I think like Stranger Things, the TV show, stuff like that. That's some Martian stuff going on there. That's a tough one to tap into, but like a chaotic energy. So
But the thing is, what I also believe is many of us have spent different lifetimes on different planets. So we
yes,
might have been on Lyra, in Draco, in Pleiades, I don't know, different
yeah,
planets. We always have maybe one that we kind of feel more identified with, or
oh
that
yeah,
we originate from. So we identify as Arcturian, for example. But
yeah, yeah. It's I get the argument. They always hear about the same groups, the Palladians, the Syrians, but there's all these other ones. But when you're here to teach people about all this stuff, the Pleiadians and the Syrians and the Lyrians are we're still figuring them out. So there's all these other. I mean, I can bring in all kinds of other beings, but I think let's throw people off. It's like, what the hell are you bringing in? It's like
too much information.
I've already done all that anyway. I was connected to the. It's funny that some of us have these alien visitations and experiences, but you don't really get into the talk circuit. Meaning people aren't emailing you, oh, what kind of experiences you had? You don't. Only certain people are chosen for that. I find that fascinating. So it's kind of like a click group that's out there. So
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
yeah, it shouldn't be like that. It should be more a little bit open, but and that's how the propaganda continues.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you can kind of often see through a lot of these people? Like you can just sense the energy and you know when they're kind of talking rubbish?
Yeah, usually I don't pay attention to them, but when I find them, yeah, yeah, you feel their spell. Yeah, it takes me a little bit because I don't pay attention to these other people usually, but usually, like, without naming names, but I can also see the good that they bring in too. But yeah, yeah, it's unfortunate that eventually they'll get exposed when the time's right.
But the humans have to learn, so I guess they
Yeah,
have a role to play in this whole
yeah.
game.
Yeah, I talk about the alien groups that kind of manipulating people, but I don't go, and these are pure like cult groups. But yeah, just they like the more fantastic, more attractive it is. It's like things have not changed from ancient Greece and all that.
Mm,
It's like the more crazy story you come up with, wow, that's really neat. It's like,
mm,
wow, I feel so entertained.
mm.
And this, like I said, the soul growth is not as exciting.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's
It's
why some of the
boring
beings I
stuff.
bring in, the beings I bring in have like they don't have a whole lot of personality, they're not supposed to, just bring information. And
Mm.
then some channelers bring in is like kind of a neat person. Hey, all right, yeah. Well, I can hang out with you or something. It's like
Yeah.
that's great, but are you going anywhere with that?
Mm.
So, it's hard. This is work. Really, it's if you try to be genuine with it, it's not that exciting. If
Yeah,
you're fantastic and you're all this, super soldier, this and that,
yeah.
that's what people want. It's just,
Everyone wants to know that we're some or other hero or super soldier or
yeah.
fantastical being.
Which I imagine there is some truth to some of that, but yeah, you don't hear about this secret space program janitor or somebody cleaning up, which you probably will eventually.
Mm.
Come more down to earth. I just fixed the floors after you guys are fighting everybody, or regrew the trees after you guys blew everything up, or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know, whatever. It's
Well,
like,
everyone has a role to play, and they say there's no such thing as a small role or a big role. We all
yeah,
have some
yeah,
part of the
yeah,
puzzle that we need to execute. Um,
yeah,
a lot of people obviously channel the Galactic Federation. Have you ever tried to?
yeah. A long time ago, Galactic Federation of Lights. I stay away from a lot of that stuff now. There's good and bad both. Ashar Command, I bring that in. It's like, oh, that's really corrupt. It's like, okay, we'll bring that in then. It's like they have to be. I think there's good in Ashar Command, but there's good and bad in all these groups. So
Yeah, there's infiltrators everywhere anyway as well. So
yeah, well, it's something like the Ashar Command or the um. Well, that's the thing. Some people they have a huge following. So Ashar Command's bad, but then the group that they're tapping into is probably not the best either. So it's like you have a double-edged
what is the
sword
real
there.
story?
Yeah,
Really?
listen to my group. My group's better. I'm nicer and all that. It's like, oh, that's okay. So yeah, Ashtar gets taken over. When I came to Ashtar Command, I felt like there was groups that didn't want me to tap into because they know I'm not going to go do propaganda on people. So you can connect to the Galactic Federation of Light to give their point of view. It's all in your intentions. So you're not going to do all that BS about they're going to save the world and all that.
Mm.
It's hard. Yeah, people want to say that darkness is coming to an end. I think we're here to figure out the darkness here so we can balance it out.
Yeah.
There's good in darkness. It's this. Well, the message I was getting is like more like these creatures to be seen here, like through the politicians. Why don't the monster start showing itself more? You're seeing that in the U.S. government and the politicians that are really old, and you're seeing them like morph into something, cloning and all that. So you're
Yeah.
seeing some kind of disclosure. So yeah, it's pretty yeah.
Yeah. We're here to learn how to integrate the dark with the light, not to push the dark away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you push the dark away, they'll just take
They're
over
just
and
coming back.
it just won't stop. Yeah, to
And
make more.
isn't
Yeah,
that what
because I
happened with the Lyran Wars as well? I mean, they were so love and light, they didn't
yeah,
see them coming at all.
yeah,
And so you've got to understand the dark to be able to manage it. And
yeah. Well, yeah, I've had like dark entities come to me, but just it wasn't here to fight me. It just said I can't let go of my darkness.
mm,
But it was a nice being. it wasn't there to. I mean, you could feel like somebody like smoked a lot of cigarettes.
Mm.
It felt like that. It's like I'm smoking all these
But
cigarettes that
then,
smell like shit. I feel like crap, but I don't want to let go of this darkness.
mm.
Not have to hurt anybody or anything like that. So
So what do you think is
that's the one.
your ultimate purpose in this whole game, if there is such a thing?
Oh, bringing the aliens in some form or another, help people get used to all this. Bringing the
Acclimatizing people
aliens,
to extraterrestrial life.
yeah, to not have high expectations, um, which many do right now. Yeah, for the aliens to start be more understood. It's kind of like breadcrumbs. Let
Yeah,
people figure it out. Like we can't tell you anything. We just say that we're here.
yeah.
It's like here's a general message and have a nice day. It's like
No,
yeah,
the rest is up to them, you know.
yeah. Not that the Super Federation are going to get rid of these bad guys. The reptilians are all gone, which I seriously doubt. Anytime they say they're gone, it's like I don't know. You look at the world, it's like, where's the proof of that? We're not walking around leaving our doors unlocked, and there's still chaos everywhere. So
Yeah,
not everywhere, but a lot of places.
yeah. Well, I'm hopeful
So
that, we're going to start seeing the needle shifting towards a more
yeah,
positive, compassionate
yeah.
world.
Next year should get not for everybody, but improvements. Well, just a little moving the needle little by little. Yeah, we'll see. There's a
Let's keep
timeline for
quantum
aliens to
leaping.
show up. Yeah, I imagine ships will show up in the sky. Yeah, become more like the Phoenix Lights, a bit more of a light show in the sky
Hmm.
one day. I don't know when though.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
we
still
can
have a lot to
only
figure out.
hold thumbs.
Yeah, well, the government's talking about more of the UFO stuff, so
Yeah,
it says something. So it's
yeah.
like I don't know. I don't feel that it's fake alien invasion. I would like to see that. That'd be horrible for us, but it'd be fascinating to see that. I don't think they're going to do it, but who knows? Maybe not. It's hard to say.
Hmm.
But
I don't
they're
think that
talking
will
about it
happen,
more.
but
Yeah,
definitely more of a presence. But the way that the government's sort of dripping it through is a bit ridiculous, I guess, for some of us that know
yeah,
what's really going on.
yeah.
It's like very rudimentary. It's like we know all that stuff. Can we just get on with the program now?
Yeah, yeah. Just well, most of society. I mean, I think aliens can reconnect with us pretty easily, But yeah, are we there yet? You remove all the propaganda, government interference. We can adjust eventually, but who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, you be careful what you ask for because they're aliens. So, like a gray is not going to go to hang out at coffee. He's going to be walking around scanning everybody, acting all
Mhm.
either afraid of people or maybe attack people or who knows what they'll do. So we got a while.
Interesting times that we live in.
Yeah, but I feel like that we're going to get there eventually, of course. And our lifetime's hard to say. This is the Renaissance, the hard Renaissance
Mm. The
of
hard
awakening.
part,
Yeah,
bashing open the path.
yeah. Just a lot of messages. People want to feel like the good is coming in, and there is some good, but there's still a lot of tests. They want to feel like the white hats have won, things are going to get better, and really want to believe that. And those channelers that put that message out, I think you can get karma for that too, because you're misleading people.
Mm.
I guess if you believe it yourself, but still, it's like this sounds nice. It gets you attention. People want to hear that. It feels good.
Do you feel like if they give people a positive mindset and we all
Yeah.
imagine that outcome, that actually we can get to that outcome quicker? It's like manifesting that positive timeline
You can
sooner.
manifest it for yourself, but the rest of the world's like, yeah, but we're not done with our we haven't learned anything. I mean, you guys might have a more positive time, which is good, but the rest of the world is still that's what I mean. It's kind of like misleading. The rest of the world is still figuring itself out.
Mm. Yeah.
So it's
But the
still a
whole
war zone.
community is growing, at least, this
Yeah.
sort of spiritual and sort of more enlightened
Yeah.
community, which is still kind of going through its own growth
Yeah.
process.
So yeah,
But at least the
you want to
community
think
is
of
growing.
yeah, you want to focus on a positive timeline. Just it's kind of like you're creating your own pocket reality.
Yeah.
But then, when things get hard, then you wonder, you question. It's like, yeah, but I thought things were going to get better, and now chaos is everywhere. So
You just get
it's a
disappointed.
tough one. Yeah, it's a
Well,
tough game.
what choice do we have, right? We can only
Keep your
focus on the good.
sanity the best of your ability.
Absolutely.
That's the thing.
Well, it's been great chatting to you. Any last messages for our viewers that you want to share?
Uh, just yeah, keep exploring. Keep it's good to be just curious. Yeah, you don't have to get pulled into these groups. Just keep an outsider's point of view. It's good to look at different points of view.
Yeah.
And what is your point of view? Cat's biting my
And
foot.
take in what resonates. That's all we can
Yeah,
do. Hmm.
yeah. So just realize the animals, how connected they are. A cat's biting my foot.
He needs
That's
attention now. We
that's
shall let
Fritzy,
you
yeah.
go.
That's Fritzy, yeah, that's Fritzy. So, but yeah, animals play a big role in here. Just decode reality. What's your
Absolutely.
point of view? So,
Absolutely. So, Ivan, where can people reach you?
it's ivanteller.com. You can find me on YouTube. Just search Ivan Teller. So I
Great.
do weekly webinar. So do a daily video, which is well, I've been doing that for I don't know how long, 5 years. I know it's been a long time.
Oh,
So it's hard.
been a while. Well, we'll definitely leave links in the description of the video so people can find your information and look at all your offerings. And I'm sure people will be really, really interested.
Yeah, I do
Somebody that's
sessions and everything.
very sort of real, in this community that can be very treacherous. You don't always know where to go, who to trust. So,
Yeah, I can help you get some clarity, connect to your higher self or guides or alien group just to help you. Basically, it's kind of like mental health, so just to help you find some sanity in all this. Give you somebody to talk to. You might not have all the answers to everything, but just getting you through the day,
yeah,
through this
more
life
support
is,
to
yeah,
get to
that's the
the other
main thing.
side.
Yeah, definitely. So, okay.
Well,
All right, thank
fantastic.
you.
Thank you so much for your time and for sharing all of these wonderful stories. And yeah, I look forward to the next one.
Yeah, thank
Hopefully,
you
we
for
can
having
do
me
this
on.
again.
Yeah, sure. Happy to be here. Yeah. So, all right. Blessings.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ivan.
Thank you. Thank you.
For chatting.